What's up, guys? Welcome everyone to another live stream. How's everyone doing? Today is 1 hour early. Hope you guys still managed to make it. The reason for that is because actually a friend is about to arrive. He's going to spend some time in here. So yeah, that's why we're doing it 1 hour early today. How was your week? How is everything? Hope you guys have managed to have a great week trading, and yeah, nothing really much happened, to be honest, in terms of the news, how the price move this week, and the move to the upside and downside, and basically kind of we are still within the same range. Looking at the dollar index and the euro dollar, for example. On the indices, yes, maybe a little bit higher. Bitcoin did manage to break the highs. So yeah, it's a little bit of what we have. Yeah, so welcome. Again, if you are new, feel free to subscribe to the channel. Basically, we're going to go pay attention to what to expect for next week, okay? Feel free to also share what is your prediction or what you're expecting. What levels are you thinking to look for trades? We go around FX, indices, commodities, and finish a bit with crypto. So yeah, go a little bit across all the assets. All right, so what do we have? Even before I start with the stream, there was a question that I received this week on last week's video. Side Joe Official. Yeah, I think you wanted to know, or you asked me, how is my approach when I'm looking at the market daily, kind of, even in terms of strategy. Let me try to see if I can manage to answer that question. What's my approach? My approach in the market that I do daily in terms of strategy. All right, so I'll maybe touch point on my daily routine and maybe how do I look for opportunities on a daily basis. All right, my daily routine, actually, instead of starting in the morning, it actually starts in the evening, okay? With that being said, it's the night before that I pay attention to the key levels that I think that my zones of interest, let's just call it like that. Okay, so I write down which pairs are close to my zone of interest and which ones I would like to be involved in the next day, especially starting straight away from the London Open. So yeah, before I go to sleep at night, around the market closing, I go across the assets that I pay attention to, and I write it down. Also to make sure that I have and I'm ready to trade those setups when they happen, okay? So I set up some alerts. I make sure that I have the alerts in place for next day, so I don't really miss anything or any opportunity that I consider that may be important. So that helped me, kind of a checklist to make sure that I do that. Main reason that I started implementing this routine is because I was actually missing some opportunities, or just I was aware of them, but then I forgot about them. And then when I looked at the chart again, the move was done. Right? So yeah, so with that routine, this has helped me to stop missing out on those trades. And this is, again, just as a piece of advice. If you notice that you are missing some trades or to do any kind of mistakes, try to understand. First and foremost, try to identify the mistake or the trades that you are missing. Then, of course, try to find the solution for it. But then it's important to also find ways to implement that solution. Okay, that's a little bit of what I did in here. By setting up alerts, it's a way to implement to help me to stop missing out on those trades. So that's just one point. Secondly, why do I do that? Okay, and the way I do that. So yeah, I try to see, like, if price is like whatever price movement happened the day before on this trading session. Was it momentum trading? Was kind of, am I expecting some kind of reversals, continuation, whatever am I expecting on the day after? I'm trying to play out, of course, trying to see which level I want to be involved in and what I would like to see price doing before I'm involved in as well. Okay, so again, I visualize that. Sometimes I can make some drawings just to even have it even more real, the preparation. So that's also something that I look for. I classify the type of opportunity there is. Is it a A+ setup? Is price reacting from a good level or not? Or kind of it's just a B? Is there any confirmation already for me to actually take this trade, or should I still wait for something else to happen before actually become an interesting zone to trade? Okay, so again, have your own checklist in place, and eventually you're going to come up with your own plan. What else happens when I do this? Okay, so by doing that just before going to bed, what I start doing is visualization. Okay, I don't know if you practice any kind of visualization, or if that's something that you do. I do it. Okay, so basically I try to prepare myself to start visualizing, either kind of taking that, again, visualizing what I would like to see in order to take the trade. If that doesn't happen, okay, there's no trade for me. If that happens, then I start visualizing maybe the possibility of actually being a winning trader, and a winning trade, and also a losing trade. Okay, so that's basically what visualization does or help with, is exactly that. And then you go through the emotions when you're actually visualizing, which then when you actually then start trading in the moment, the day after, yeah, you are less emotional attached to the setup, and you are ready to whatever happens. So it's all about preparation, as you can see. Basically, the keyword is preparation at this point. And then yes, then go to bed, wake up the next day. I usually work out in the morning, go to the gym, then come back, whatever. Then I jump into the charts, and yeah, then action, right? So try to see exactly around the London Open, like what's going on. Is the opportunity there for me to take it, yes or no? And if yes, there you go, I'll take it. Again, you are talking about strategy, or you also ask about strategy. This depends exactly on maybe what I'm expecting from the market. Okay, is it been a continuation? Do I start already noticing some weakness? Is it like what kind of weekday is it? Is it Monday? Is it Tuesday? Usually there's maybe some type of behaviors that we can expect on those typical days, especially also depending on what happened the day before. So yeah, so in terms of strategy, again, I do look for opportunities always basically the same way, but it depends on where price is. Okay, otherwise I don't have a trade, or maybe I just have a small trade instead of looking for the deep reversal in there. Okay, then eventually one day I can go deeper on how I actually identify those levels. Yeah, then London Open, start acting, looking for trades, and then maybe 10 a.m. or something like that. Then usually kind of price slows down, and it's kind of repeat a little bit more for the US Open. Again, maybe sometimes I may be busy in between that time with mentoring sessions, whatever it may be. So depends on how busy I am in the morning after 10 a.m. until eventually the US Open. Then it kind of goes recent repeat, whatever levels are there to be taken that maybe were left during the London Open, or kind of price continues in the same direction. Again, it always depends on where price is. And then it continues eventually, end of the session in the evening. I never finish my day trading or my trading day without doing my daily report card. Okay, it's basically my journaling of where I review my trading session. I like to give grace to different topics or kind of variables in there. For example, how well did I perform? How did I feel? What did I do wrong? My level of energy during the day. Was I motivated? Kind of was risk on, risk off? How was I feeling? Like, I have different metrics that I follow. And then yeah, good thing I did today, bad thing I did today, something that I need to improve, and then just review every bit. Logged in the trades that I've taken. Again, I use H1, so that's basically done automatically. I just need to add variables. Yeah, try to reset for the day. Then I move away from the charts until nighttime. Kind of, I repeat. I look again out to where price is, what kind of opportunities I'm looking for tomorrow, and yeah, that's basically the routine that I have in here. So I hope that answers your question. If you want to know anything more in detail, yeah, feel free to follow up and to ask yeah, anything else. And thank you for the question, by the way. So yeah, with that being said, actually, I would like to let you know, guys, that actually, if you by any chance would like to work together, I'm starting to plan to do something about it. Okay, I may be creating something that's going to allow us to work together more on a daily basis. If that's something that you are interested, yeah, feel free to let me know. And yeah, when things are ready, I will inform of everything that I'm planning to do. Yeah, with that being said, let's jump into the market. Okay, so yeah, dollar index. Okay, as you know, we always start with the dollar index. Yeah, nothing really changed, as I mentioned. Like, it's still within the same range. Nothing really changed whatsoever. Okay, so we had that move to downside. We were looking for price maybe to react a little bit from there. Then you had those highs in here. Okay, apparently price still respected underneath that level. Something that I mentioned that maybe I would have liked to see is eventually this potential opportunity to look for a sell. Price never really got to that stage. It's kind of still remained underneath in here, and now we are at the lows again. Within the lows, there's maybe something in here that price can still react from. It's basically where it ended up reacting yesterday evening. But the overall bigger picture, I'm still looking for more bearishness on the dollar. Okay, and we didn't really manage to break these highs, unfortunately. So yeah, not really sure if there's still a bullish sign in here. We definitely managed to keep respecting this structure in there. So that's something that it continues to happen. Yeah, in there. All right, so bigger picture. Yes, bigger picture, I think we may continue to go even lower. I think maybe we can go below this low. It's already taken that one. And I think everything in here has been compressed already. So we may go a little bit lower in there. There's maybe something in here, to be honest. That's maybe still fresh. Yeah, it's maybe something in here that's still fresh still. Yeah, it actually looks good. We kind of, I think, had a look last week at around these levels on the lower time frame. But there's maybe something here. 1 second. Within this structure, I think there's still something in here that could be used. Just kind of press at this low, fake out, went upwards, kind of have the Quasimodo in there. Yeah, this can be maybe a good level, maybe for the dollar index to eventually go and react from, to take to go below these lows. Yeah, that's kind of compressed, but in reality, this is not exactly compressed in here. That's maybe in the bigger picture, but smaller picture, it's not exactly compression in there. This level is actually still fresh. Actually, let me just do it this one in here. Yeah, otherwise price will just maybe all the way go towards to the next level. But I like that it's actually in alignment with this high, so that's something to look at. Yeah, can fake out this low, can fake out that low. Yeah, that sounds nice eventually. So yeah, now yes, dollar index did reacted from that level. It was fresh, price went upwards, didn't really manage to break above it. So we're looking eventually, again, we'll see what direction price is going to move towards to. I think it could continue to move to the downside, and then eventually moving to the upside. So yeah, that's a little bit of what we have on the dollar index at this point. Again, next week is going to be the first week of December. Right? We're going to go first and foremost as well. Like, happy Thanksgiving for everyone that celebrated Thanksgiving. So yeah, hope you guys had a lovely day, and you managed to relax and spend time with your family. That is important as well. Now, looking ahead for next week, like, there's not really, it's going to be PC, okay? Even though Friday is going to be the 1st of December, it's not going to be NFP day, Okay, so apparently the NFP is going to be announced the week after that, on the 8th of December. So yeah, just to pay attention to it. Usually, as you know, it's always on the first Friday of every month, but it's not going to happen this next week in there. So there's going to be some news. Maybe going to finally create some momentum in here. And yes, as I mentioned, kind of maybe moving to downside, maybe before moving upwards. Now we have this S&P, okay, and the indices kind of continue to move quite to the upside. Okay, again, S&P is still lagging in comparison with NASDAQ. Okay, NASDAQ already kind of broke these highs in here. These highs made last summer, or this summer, sorry. Yeah, and S&P hasn't really done that. Okay, I'm looking even for S&P to eventually potentially take this double top, maybe go a little bit into there. Something that we have during this move to the upside. Okay, so there's a gap in here that was created back in August when one of the rating agencies actually reduced the rating in the US from AAA to AA or something like that. So there was that move down. There was a little bit of a gap in there, which price kind of went slightly above the gap, but hasn't really closed it in there. Okay. Meanwhile, we have this compression, and something that hasn't happened yet is that we haven't had any break of a low yet on this move upwards. Okay, so that's something to bear in mind. On this move to the upside on the S&P, we haven't had a break of a low. So until we actually do that, be cautious with any sell. Now we are slowing down. I think everyone can see that we are starting to slow down. Okay, so the type of a move that we have is not just as aggressive as this one in here back in the beginning of the month. It starts to slow down, so which means that start to show some weakness, which means that eventually can have a little bit of a retracement to the downside. Now question mark is from where? Are you going to close the gap? Are you going to go slightly higher, even somewhere in there, which is still fresh as well? Or are you going to take completely all these highs and move even higher? Okay, so that's just something to bear in mind in here, to look at the S&P in this situation. Okay. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. Again, we did had that move up and down in here. This was Wednesday. Meanwhile, price has been just slowing down. So yes, what about if we actually move to the downside? Okay, yeah, definitely do have this range in here. Okay, that's basically kind of where they started to moving upwards. Again, maybe is there still something fresh in here to look for on this daily time frame. It looks like it's still fresh, so that's something that price can still go and react from. Okay, so we can maybe draw something in there. In reality, I believe NASDAQ actually has reacted already from this level, if I'm not mistaken. Well, S&P kind of stayed just with the zone above it. Okay, basically the support resistance hasn't really gone to the demand zone, while if I'm not mistaken, NASDAQ has already reacted from the demand zone in here. So maybe this is on the daily time frame, maybe there's zone in there to pay attention to. If prices want to retrace a bit, maybe then can continue to go higher. But this is the range, and at this point, if you just continue to move upwards, then you are maybe looking for price to maybe get towards this level, or eventually to finally take these highs and move even higher. Okay, yeah, so that's basically what we're going to be paying attention to in here on the S&P. Eventually, if you do break below this level, then you can maybe aim to go maybe closer a bit more towards here, and that's going to be a different story after that. Okay, which also depends when actually price is reacting from, when it starts to move to the downside, to find out if that's something that we are anticipating, even a deeper move down or not. Now NASDAQ, as I mentioned, has already broken these highs, okay, from this summer, and is reacting from that zone slightly above it. Okay, so that was a zone that was still fresh, that this high never really reacted from, and that's basically where NASDAQ is reacting at this point. Do I have enough data? No. Yeah, maybe maybe I should actually upgrade this data in here. So yeah, it's reacting from there. Again, there's maybe the potential or possibility to go even higher. In there, it's reacting nicely from this zone. Yeah, can go higher definitely, but now that it took these highs, it's kind of fighting a little bit. There's been a bit more bearish than the other ones. Okay, again, still nothing really major in here. We did manage to break this wall, but in reality the level that we are looking for is actually this one in here. Kind of managed to break slightly this trend line, but it's not exactly the most clean one. And what I mentioned before is that yeah, it was a different price action here, to be honest, but the same zone was respected in there. It looked like the S&P had maybe reacted a little bit more higher into that zone. Okay, yeah, and NASDAQ kind of went a bit more deeper into actually this zone here. It moved higher. Now this is the next fresh level in here. Basically price is reacting from it. None of these walls actually reacted from the zone, and that's kind of where we are. So yeah, maybe creating this type of a range in here at this point. Again, are we going to see walls being taken in here before maybe moving lower? Eventually we can take everything in here. Again, maybe there's something at this wall still to that price could respect, but eventually could go just below that zone in there. So yeah, that's something to bear in mind in here. Yeah, moving upwards. Yeah, definitely that's something to look at in here. Again, if you by any chance then break below these walls, then you are looking for price to get a bit closer to that level. What's the problem in here, right? We are getting really close to these all-time highs, okay? And yeah, there is a possibility that price can eventually actually take all the highs in here and only then move to the downside. Could we just maybe fake out or not? Now there's maybe still levels in here that are quite interesting. Okay, like of course, first and foremost, kind of starting from this level in here, kind of this is literally potential Quasimodo in there. Okay, price kind of paused in here, never really went all the way to the extreme, so that maybe level is still fresh. This one in here is maybe has already been taken. There's maybe a zone in here at the extreme also that price could eventually react from. Okay, at these highs in here. So that's something to bear in mind. That price could eventually go there. Yeah, because aside from that, yeah, nothing much. So yeah, somewhere in here, and then maybe down. Now at these highs on the lower time frame, there's maybe a zone in there above that price could also react from. Okay, so for example, if you take the lows, the price eventually can just fake out a little bit his size and still react from something here, or eventually fake out everything and then move lower. As we mentioned on the other ones, we haven't really broken any low just yet. Demand, and we'll see if it starts managing to break lows. That can be a different story. However, on the monthly time frame, you definitely can see that this has been a super bullish month in the NASDAQ. So we see, oh, that's nice on the monthly time frame. Yeah, it can be interesting. It's a monthly level. Just 1 second. Let's just investigate actually where it's reacting from. Just a little bit above where we are now. Into here. It's nice. It's nice to see. All right, nice to see. So yeah, that's for NASDAQ. Yeah, so we'll see. Again, the indices, they've been doing the same thing. Dow continues to move higher, so we close the gap in here and just continues. It actually has taken out this high. Wait, not this one. It has taken this highs in here and can even go a little bit maybe closer to that level. Okay, so that's something to bear in mind. And there is still definitely the possibility of taking everything in here, also maybe taking that high and getting a little bit more closer to this structure in here. Okay, so that's something also to bear in mind on the Dow. And I may want to go review this level in there to see exactly maybe where price may react from here in there. But yes, maybe you can actually take out this highs, that one as well, and even move higher. But on the lower time frame, maybe something more recent, we may actually go and have some kind of reaction from here, even though a lot of it has been, it looks like it's been compressed already in here, but there's maybe something that you can maybe pay attention to. Yeah, this one basically has been done in there. Then they're looking for this one, which basically price already reacted from it in here. Yeah, so maybe something underneath with this, all these highs that eventually got faked out, so that may be something in there to pay attention to. Yeah, I'm curious to see how price may react from here, but there is definitely a high possibility that you can go all the way, take out these highs and go into that zone. Again, what's going on in the most recent data, right? So we continue to go higher. Again, no walls being broken, keeps everything being respected at this point in here. So as long as that continues, again, there's no need to look for any kind of shorts or long-term shorts in here at this point. And if you're looking for continuation, yeah, just wait for retracement, and maybe then you can continue to look for that in there. So that's something to bear in mind in here on the Dow. Yeah, so we'll see exactly what may happen, and if you are going to have any kind of reversal in here or not. DAX just continues. Okay, so this was something that we were anticipating for DAX to eventually take these highs, and when it does take that highs, eventually we're looking for price to fill all this compression, okay, all the way from here to there. Now, the possibility that I gave is or was something to bear in mind, is that maybe could just maybe take one of these highs and then have a deep retracement before a continuation to the upside. Okay, maybe something like this. At this point, that's not happening. Sorry, yeah, that's not happening at this point. Price just continues to go higher. Again, there's no walls being broken, so price literally just continues to respect the most recent level, and it goes higher, and it goes higher, and it goes higher. Okay, let's just see where is price reacting from. At this point, it has already even taken those highs, and it's getting into this level. So basically where it's reacting from. A nice left shoulder in there, and price maybe, yeah, basically is reacting from. Okay, it's not a bad level in here with the other left shoulder as well. I don't think price maybe has taken that zone in here before. Yeah, but it's so short to it. Yeah, it kind of can be maybe an interesting reaction from there. But aside from that, again, continues quite bullish DAX. Again, it's slowing down. Something that matters to pay attention to is how price is slowing down. Okay, it's still bullish, but it starts to slow down, which means that maybe eventually we can have a little bit of a retracement, but still patient. And any retracement doesn't really mean that price will just sell off. It may be literally just a retracement before eventually price just continues to move higher. Okay, so that's something to bear in mind. Manage your expectations in this type of trades in this moment. Looking at VIX is quite low. It's 12, so we managed to break these lows in here. Okay, it's really super low, which kind of supporting a little bit this move to the upside on the indices, but we are still within this level. Okay, we are looking at levels just before COVID. Yeah, to pay attention to. Yeah, it hasn't really been like last time we actually even went below 12. It was just before COVID. Yeah, you can even pay attention. Last time we kind of had those previous bearish markets. Yeah, so we'll see at around this level if this is kind of support as well. It's just something that you can keep an eye as well to support you with eventually the move in the indices. In this one, the 10-year yield in here. This was something that we're looking for. Okay, price to react from this 4.3%. It was an important key level in the past. There was this price in here. Price is compressing again. This is kind of what you want to try to pay attention to look for an opportunity. Okay, what else did you have in here? Okay, so I have already this behavior in here. Okay, so this is something that you pay attention to as a pattern for reversal. We have the break already to the upside, and you have the fake out. You are into a key level that you paid attention to. There's literally a gap in here that you identified beforehand. And yeah, this could be an example. Like if by any chance I'm aware that maybe price is already reacting from here or approaching this level the day before, this is what I'll be looking for the next time. Okay, that's kind of an opportunity. Now what can we expect? Okay, price may hold this level and continue to go higher. We also managed to break this trend line, are kind of testing a little bit this level, or again, two levels in here to pay attention to for potential continuation. And you can kind of have this gap in here, which have no idea what it is about. So yeah, that's kind of a little bit of what to look like. Then potential move, of course, you need to take this high, and you can maybe get closer to this level, which then can even take us back to this level, as we described last week. I think it may have covered this potential move in here, and let's see if that's going to make the indices move to the downside or not. Okay, but yeah, this will be an example of a setup that you'll be looking for 100% for sure. Okay, that's actually quite nice in there. Euro index just continues as well, so it went to the upside, is reacting from that level more on the left side, that it was still fresh. Again, there's a possibility that we eventually can go and take these highs. Okay, so that's something to bear in mind. We do have a double top in here. Again, that's not something really that I like to trade, so I'm actually would be more waiting for price eventually to take these highs and eventually look for a potential sell on the euro pairs. And that could kind of reinforce the idea of maybe the dollar moving lower first before maybe this turn. Now price just reacted from the base of that level, never really got closer to the previous zone in here. We are compressing. Yeah, there's definitely still maybe something in here to look for. Basically, there you go. It's supply that price is reacting from. But yeah, everything is compressed also on the way up. But yeah, possibility of taking these levels in here. Price kind of react quite nicely already from this level as well. Yeah, just something to keep in mind and follow Euro index in the future or next week. The yen index, okay, this is an interesting one. So we had that big move to the upside on the yen index, and we did manage to take this high. Okay, so we did manage to take this high. So this can be maybe possibly seen as an engulf upwards, indicating that price does want to continue to go higher and eventually challenge more of this zone in here. Now I kept respecting the same structure in here. Okay, so bear that in mind. We did manage to continue to respect that structure, but we do take this high. Okay, so that for me is kind of an engulf upwards. Now what levels were we looking for in here? So the move to the upside was quite aggressive, right? It was like literally 3-4 quick bullish momentums that push price all the way up. Move to the downside, maybe slowing a little bit down or slowing a little bit more, but it's also kind of quite quick as well. Now what levels were still fresh, right? So this one was basically has been taken with this low. There's maybe something in here at the extreme that maybe was still fresh, and that's basically where this level in here reacted from. But aside from that, the next level that is still fresh is still more around this level. Okay, this is where I'm going to be looking for a potential reaction and then continuation to the upside on the index, which means kind of a reaction and a potential continuation to the downside on the other yen pairs. So that's definitely something to pay attention to. Maybe a great week next week for the yen pairs to maybe short them again, and then looking for this one to go higher. You can try. Trend line sometimes can be an interesting tool to use to look for confirmation of a break. Again, I'm looking also for a break of highs to confirm that. let it slow down a little bit. I think maybe there's a little bit more room to the downside. Let it create a little bit more lows before eventually looking for that turn. Okay, let it maybe react based off this level, maybe in alignment with this trend line in here, then continue to move lower, then maybe eventually challenge a little bit more until maybe finally we have that turn. Okay, so that's something to bear in mind. In here on this yen index, it may be quite interesting next week to look for opportunities for this one to go long, which means kind of short the other ones in there. Yeah, and that's it in terms of the indices that we look at. So yeah, let's jump into the individual currency pairs. All right, so euro dollar. Okay, again, nothing really changed in comparison with the yen index. Okay, just change one thing in here. Okay, so I've never. Okay, this is better. Euro dollar just remained the same. So we had this range. This is where we were looking at. Okay, and that's basically where price has been trading. Now, bigger picture. Yes, I'm still expecting price to go slightly higher. Okay, in here we did manage to take those levels, but if you do wanted to continue to look for more move to downside, I think it will be important for these guys, these holes in here, to be taken in order to start opening door more to downside. Now, he did manage kind of to take this low in here when this was created, but this one is still kind of being reacted yeah, from that level. So we haven't really managed to break it. The structure, which is also something to pay attention to. Okay, sometimes it's not just about the low, the most recent low that you can see next to it. It's actually the structure that actually price is reacting from that matters. And this is sometimes where the confusion can appear when you're looking at different time frames, because you may see different things in here, right? Again, for example, on the 4-hour time frame, it looks like you just broke the lows. There's no structure in here. Next structure could be maybe a bit more underneath, right? So again, that's where it's just something to bear in mind when you're looking at it. Nice reaction from this level. Then prices continue to move higher. In here on euro dollar, yeah, nice retail reaction. Again, this was already kind of taken, but price then respected that zone in here. So that was a nice retail reaction from the extreme of this demand, which can also kind of be something like this. All right. So what are you expecting? Yeah, most likely the same way that the dollar index still has maybe some levels that price could react from, euro dollar also has maybe this specific structure that price could respect and maybe move down. Okay, if by any chance that's how price is going to open on Monday, maybe there is that possibility. Otherwise, it's just going to continue break to the upside and it's going to continue to move just like that. As you can see in here, basically price is respecting every single demand on the way up without managing to break lows. Actually, this is maybe one of those in there. Okay, that's something to bear in mind. So we'll see if by any chance, for example, we start breaking below this low once again and then do something like that, then maybe we can have a move to the downside, maybe getting even closer to that level, challenge these lows in here while still respecting that those highs in there. Otherwise, we need to continue to look a bit more to the left side. Price is reacting from here. There's maybe something a little bit higher, and all of a sudden we start looking for price to maybe get towards that zone in there. Okay, so that's just something to keep in mind on the euro dollar. This may be just a continuation to the upside in here. Yeah, it's basically what price is demonstrating to us, even though, again, as I mentioned, there's maybe that vast zone in there that price could respect and move to the downside. It's still fresh, at least on this time frame. in here. So yeah, euro dollar, that's what we have. Pound dollar, it's been much more bullish. Okay, so it actually managed to continue to break new highs. Nice little reaction from that level, kind of bit in the middle in there, and that's kind of what's going on the pound. It's actually reacting from a zone that I was looking for in here. Can be kind of an interesting level. Price kind of reacted from it yesterday. It's basically the base of this big range, and there is literally kind of a supply that was still fresh in there. So that could be a zone to look for, but then eventually price can actually continue to go higher. Again, within this range, a lot of it has been compressed a little bit, kind of maybe that level maybe still fresh, but a lot of it has been compressed a little bit in here, and then it take us into the extreme in here. Okay, and then eventually again it can continue, and it takes us into there as a zone to pay attention to on the pounds. Okay, so that's something to bear in mind in here. So yeah, let's look and pay attention to what may happen. Continuation, then can fake out this level and move a bit higher. In terms of a zone to look for, again, price is respecting kind of weird zones in the middle. To be honest, we did create this level. Price kind of respected that zone in here, so that's okay. Yeah, this kind of a little bit of a decision point in there. Price breaks to the upside from here, leaving this one below, and yeah, price respects. Now compresses. Yeah, it can just continue. To be honest, it can maybe just continue. As a first target in here, somewhere in there. If you start actually, again, we need to start seeing some breaks, proper breaks, to give any other idea. Otherwise, price will just continue to go higher in here. Euro pound. Yeah, euro pound just continues to move forward as well. Kind of respected that level kind of in the middle. Never really managed to break above this high. Kept respecting it, and there you go. We may even go below that level. We may go into here a little bit. Okay, but again, for now, this is kind of the range that you are still trading underneath until here. So we'll see, again, compressing a little bit. Yeah, that's kind of what we have, up and down on the euro pound, and it's going to be interesting to see what if it breaks below this low. Again, there's maybe still something in here that price could react from. Aside from that, then we can start challenging these lows as well. Yeah, this is just demonstrates literally that as you can see, pound has been moving more aggressively to the upside, which is basically in this euro pound. It means that the euro pound actually is moving more, right? So pound stronger than the euro. That's kind of what we see in here. Now Aussie dollar continues. Okay, so Aussie dollar continues. There's been a really bullish month on the Aussie dollar. Okay, since we had that interest rate hike that happened a couple of weeks ago. Since that CPI report came out, it was much higher than expected, and yeah, since then it's just moving higher and looking for price to eventually to go even above the structure in here. To be honest, we are kind of compressing a little bit, but the continuation to the upside is there. Again, nice reaction from this previous support resistance. That's done. So let's see. Now, within this level, yeah, not really sure if there's anything in there that price can respect. Yes, we do have this left shoulder, so that's maybe one of the last zones to pay attention to in there. All right, so yeah, otherwise, aside from that, price may just continue to move even higher. Okay, again, we can maybe try to see, price can maybe fake out that level. We're getting into this middle zone. The way price has been moving for so long, Now it's in such a compression way. That is quite weird. Again, price may go even a bit deeper in here. This one here may have been taken already. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see on this yeah, we'll see on this Aussie yen, on this Aussie dollar, sorry, what may happen. Personally, again, this euro dollar, Aussie dollar, they haven't really been my focus this week. Okay, I was interested at those. Now that price is somewhere in here, I haven't really been following it that much. I want to see eventually when price starting to give indication that is about to reverse, and I haven't really got that information yet. So I will just let it get it a bit more expensive. I'm moving higher, start showing more weakness, start to really demonstrate that it's about to reverse, and as long as it's not giving me that information, I will just keep tracking it at this point. If by any chance, then when you do have that retracement, then changes. Before that, I want to try to look for that short, but then eventually I may look for a long in terms of continuing. Euro Aussie. It's just the same thing. Weird compression here again. You can maybe spike one more time into this level and continue to move down. We are kind of compressing, just like it is. Yeah, so basically that's where we are in here. I should take that one, respect that one. Eventually can go a little bit lower. And my favorite level, as I mentioned, kind of if price had gone a little bit higher in there, we can even maybe fake out first that one, even react from still something inside here without even going all the way to the upside. So there's something to even bear in mind. Okay, that's kind of reacted from that zone. We have this one a little bit higher in here. But yeah, we do have this one as a first barrier, okay, which can actually be an interesting zone to look for a sell. Now we created all these highs. Yeah, that may actually be an interesting zone to look for a potential sell opportunity on this Euro Aussie. And then we start getting into these yen pairs. Okay, and you can actually take a look into the Aussie yen. Okay, so Aussie yen finished the week retesting the highs in there. Okay, again, not really sure why, but depending on the time frame that you are using, either broke above this high or not. But we have this about top in here, and looking at the bigger picture, eventually I'm looking for price to get closer to this level. Okay, so we can definitely fake out all these highs and getting a little bit more closer in here. Again, within this candle, there's definitely maybe something in there. If you go into the lower time frame, maybe you can actually try to see what opportunities maybe there are in here. Second. Okay, so that's something to look at. Can I go there? 1 second. Okay. 2014. So we may actually have this zone in here. It's maybe still fresh price perspective from the zone underneath that. Then we have kind of this structure in here. We do have definitely the extreme in here, which price basically already reacted from in there. So we have this zone in here, price reacted. Right, so again, this is actually a good exercise to are doing together. Okay, so I'm looking always for the reaction from the base of the zone, looking for the low that created last high, and there you go. Like we have the reaction exactly in here, as you can see. Now within this level, there's maybe another zone in here. Right, we need to pay attention to the zone that actually breaks the level, and where is the next retracement in here? Yeah, there's no chance I have 30 minutes time frame in there. So that's kind of what we have. So since this level already been taken, now we're looking for price to kind of maybe go to the next one, which is somewhere in here. Now the base of this level is taken in here, but the extreme is still fresh. So that's kind of where price eventually goes and reacts from in here, right? So you can see it's basically where price goes and reacts from in here. Now the same way that the base now of this level has been reacted from, we can pay attention to the extreme in there. Okay, and then we do have kind of the extreme in here. Again, I would like to see it in the even in the lower time frame, but we don't really have it. And then we end up with maybe 3 levels that I'm always trying to look for within this level. Okay, so it's the base of it, it's going to be the extreme of it, and it's going to be something in the middle, which is maybe where the supply maybe, in this case, maybe somewhere in here that may be still fresh. In this case, it's actually still even in alignment with this level in here. Okay, now sometimes this level is in alignment with this one, so basically they are combined, or sometimes this level is already kind of somewhere at the highs in alignment with that one, and they kind of combine in here. Okay, so this is kind of the trickier one, which sometimes can be in here, sometimes can be in there, and sometimes it's just in the middle like it is right now. And we need to pay attention which ones actually are still fresh as price is moving to the downside. So yeah, the base of this level is literally taken. Like you can see, price is reacting from it. This supply in here may be still fresh. Again, if we go into the lower time frame, we can maybe get even more confirmation, and then the extreme in there, which is maybe still free. Okay. Yes, as you can see, maybe actually on this higher time frame, this middle range supply may not be here, may actually be somewhere more in alignment with this zone. Okay, we do have kind of these lows, kind of this highs in here, kind of created this zone, which can be an interesting level to look for. Also, oh damn it, wait a second, sorry, just trying to make it make sense. Sorry. Okay, and this one, it. Okay, we also have this level, which is also important, kind of in alignment. It's kind of where it is in here. Okay, yeah, now these ones in here may have been already taken by everything in there on the way down, which makes it a bit weaker in here. Okay, so yeah, this is something to pay attention to, but those are usually 2-3 levels where price tends to react from within each structure. Okay, now we can actually then continue to do the same exercise as you continue to move forward, and yeah, now we have kind of the base of this level, which is maybe still fresh, something that we need to pay attention to. And as you go into the lower time frame, and maybe that's already been taken in there. Okay, otherwise we may anticipate some kind of reaction from here. Yeah, just to bear in mind in there. Of course, it's alignment also, it's something else, and pay attention to where actually price breaks the levels or not. So yeah, that gives us a little bit of an idea where maybe price can go and react from. Again, this is maybe the base, the extreme is still fresh in there. Again, same thing, same exercise. You can go draw it like this, then you have the base of this level, kind of the base of thing here. That's where it reacted. The supply is maybe somewhere in there, and then you have the extreme, and it keeps repeating in there. Now, where we are in here, right? So we are reacting from the base, so that's already taken. Okay, base has been taken, and now we are looking for price to go a bit higher, and that's where we are in here. And as you change time frames, the bottoms and the highs, they may change as well. So yeah, just something that we work with to try to identify those levels in there. So Aussie yen, again, it respected this level in here. Right, that's something that it did. Okay, so basically, again, if you're about to do that exercise again, maybe you can look for these highs, these lows, price respected that level, it left the demand zone behind, and there you go. And this is the extreme within this level, which may be already been taken by that one or by those lows in there. Okay, again, it's basically the same thing over and over. Yeah, so let's see what's going to happen in here. Again, this is maybe an important zone to look for. May have some kind of trend line to follow as well. In here, there's a little bit of a gap in there, but price hasn't really managed to break any lows whatsoever. So that's kind of what we have in here. Yeah. So we'll see. Aussie yen. Again, if Aussie dollar, sorry, continues to move higher, maybe we can continue to expect this level also to go higher. They've been quite correlated at this point. So also paying attention to the yen pairs. If by any chance the yen index is about to react from that level and go higher, maybe this one can follow, maybe can go slightly higher first and then have that move to the downside. Okay, it's an interesting pair to look at. It's at key levels, at the highs, it is kind of a double top at this point, and yeah, since it respected perfectly kind of this level in here, it need a bigger picture. Again, it may continue to go higher, it may get closer a bit more towards something in here in the middle. Okay, so that's maybe where eventually this one is going to go towards too. This is kind of a nice man zone, kind of just a little bit above that. Okay, can continue with that exercise. So this one in here should have been respected on the way down. It basically was not, which kind of left us or leave us with this level in here, which is just above this highs, which kind of left the other zone fresh. And yeah, that can start making a little bit of a good sense in here of what to look for. Okay, where is the last demand zone in here? It's basically maybe something in here, or maybe covering with that one as well. That managed to break above this level, which kind of takes us into this level in here, somewhere in there. Yeah, that's a bit more in detail, which is not really the purpose of this stream. Yeah, so dollar yen. Okay, so we are having this correction. And price reacted really nicely from that zone. It went below that level in there, that already broken that low. Eventually, even looking for price in here. I do have this Fibonacci in here. Honestly, not really sure why. Just to see where it will be kind of the potential, any of those key levels that people look at on the Fibonacci. I can actually do this in here. So yeah, let's see. Are we going to retest something in there? The level in here is kind of it's good. Okay, so this level is still fresh. Price, again, the way it's moving to the upside, it's respecting, but starting to now to range a little bit. Okay, so it's starting to lose momentum. So I wouldn't be surprised if by any chance we do have a little bit of retracement around this direction. Maybe go above this high or just respect the high and turn after that. We can maybe try to see if this high is actually reacted from something in here, yes or no. Just something to bear in mind in there. Maybe there's the extreme in here, right? So it's basically the same conversation in there. Okay, so again, basically the bias is being reacted from, but the supply in there hasn't really been reacted in there. Okay, so by any chance, if price does want to fake out these highs, it can go a little bit above that. It can maybe react from it again one more time, which is kind of in alignment with this one, and then move down, or eventually go to the next one in here. And this one in here also, again, it was still fresh. Basically, price is reacting from it. Again, you can actually pay attention to this one that actually managed to break this one. That's basically where price is actually reacting from in there. So yeah, so this is what we have. Again, we need to see this low being broken to actually then see a potential bigger reversal. But I would like actually to see maybe price first take these highs, even maybe fake out that level as we mentioned, maybe somewhere in there, or start to going even a little bit more higher. So yeah, that's dollar yen. Are we going to have new highs being created? We'll see. Again, I'm going to, since we are in the middle, again, price maybe just react from here, go there, and then maybe just continue. Totally okay with that. Again, this looks like it has been an important level of support resistance in the past, which may still be a bit fresh since this one never really reacted from there. So that's something to also bear in mind. So we could eventually fake out this level and move higher. Yeah, so yeah, we could maybe continue to do that and eventually challenge to go even higher in there. What else? Euro yen. Okay, Euro yen continues to go higher. I'm looking for price to take this highs since this one already kind of reacted from it. Perfect. And price respected this low in here. Okay, I was looking actually for price to go slightly lower. Again, this low, this candle was created with the market open, so big question mark of the shape of this candle. We never really know. Depending on the broker, maybe this doesn't even existed. And if that was the case, and if we count these lows, and this may be seen maybe as an engulf to downside, since price never really kind of reached the next level. But at this point, what I can see is that actually price respected this low in here. So maybe this continue to be more of a bullish momentum. Now we were definitely waiting to see this retracement to occur and price to get closer to this level or to take these highs, and now we are looking for price to get a bit more into there. Now the way price moved away from here, it was in super compression mode. Okay, as you can see, price will go into like this, and so we'll see now actually how price may react again from this level, which kind of is the base of this, just as you basically demonstrated. Can be an interesting zone to see price have some kind of reaction in here. Okay, now that you took this double top, maybe you can have, again, we are having that one like a little bit of a correction to the downside, but yeah, I think price may want to go slightly higher in here, and there's maybe that extreme. Yes, there is that extreme, because that's where actually I missed my trade, and I remember that was still fresh. Okay, so there is maybe still this level in here fresh that eventually price could react from in there. Otherwise, bigger picture, and this is something that we need to pay attention to, since the euro yen is moving in a way that is approaching this bigger zone in here. Okay, so again, we may continue to go even higher before eventually going to the downside in there. Okay, so again, just pay attention to it. There's maybe some opportunity to look for a trade in there, depending on how price may be moving. In terms of targets, this is interesting. Kind of price managed to break below this low, so that's something interesting to pay attention to. And then the big question mark as well for me is, depending also on the brokerage you're using, this price kind of respected, or this kind of doesn't exist, and actual price may have broken that low in there. So yeah, just a few things to bear in mind in here on the euro yen. Pound yen just continues. Again, we have seen the pound dollar quite bullish. So we took out all these lows, and it just continues to move higher. And now where we are, right? So we're reacting really nicely from that level in here, but in reality, I'm looking for price actually to get maybe a little bit more closer to the zone, a little bit above that. Okay, so again, at this point, it's still underneath this high, but I'm looking for price to go higher and getting closer to this zone in here. So yeah, that's a little bit of what I am going to be looking at on the pound yen. Bigger picture, you can even maybe continue to go higher. Okay, so as we talked about, I think 1 or 2 weeks ago, bigger picture, this may be actually the level that we may be looking at. Okay, for example, euro yen is about to approach somewhere that level already. Pound yen is a big gap to fill in here. Now there's literally maybe a little bit of space in here price can go and react from. This is a weekly time frame or a monthly time frame, which means that can be a really good opportunity more on an intraday to expect. But yeah, at this point, price is respecting quite nicely the previous levels, so we'll see what may happen at around this highs in here. Price respected quite nicely all the structure, so should we expect something like this to happen, or at least something towards here, or should you expect eventually this size actually to be taken and price to get to the next level, which takes us into this structure in here? Everything in here has been compressed, so actually no surprise that price fill out this space quite quickly. This is all this compression here. This was a fresh level, this was in there. Yeah, so we'll see. We'll see eventually where this guy is going to take us towards to. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what's next on the pound yen. All right, yeah, pound yen, that's kind of what we have. And then we move into the CAD pairs. Okay, so dollar CAD just continue to move forward. Really nice move in here. So we kept respecting that level as we described. This was already kind of an engulf to the downside. Okay, everything in here now kind of was a bit compressed. Maybe there was a reaction here still, this demand zone. What maybe this will kind of miss it. It's basically where price actually is reacting or reacted to. Okay, that level. Aside from that, yeah, if prices go below that level, then we can start aiming to go even lower. But this, for us, this was already kind of an engulf down. Price reacted quite nicely from the base of that zone. Okay, so again, same story. The last kind of low that created the high, kind of that one zone in there. This was a beautiful level, actually, where price reacted to. Again, just keep doing the same thing in there. Okay, kind of that was the zone, and price reacted from there. Yeah, nice little reaction. So what else happened? Kind of this week, price got stuck within this level. It was really good. Okay, that's kind of a really interesting zone when the dollar card reacted from, and since then kind of moving lower. Finally managed to break all these lows and confirm the engulf that happened, since this one had already kind of broken this one in here. So what's next? Again, this can be considered kind of an interesting zone. Okay, this is basically where the compression kind of started. Of course, it's in here. Yeah, but yeah, this is basically the last demand zone in here. So we'll see what's next. If price by any chance is going to now to continue and challenge a little bit more to the downside on this dollar card, which could be right now. Again, this is a good reaction all the way from the highs, and maybe we are on the way to eventually move even lower and maybe towards this zone in here. Okay, so yeah, that can be happening. Again, there's maybe something in here, something in there. Maybe a little bit in there as well, if by any chance price does want to retrace and eventually continue to move lower in here. All right, yeah, moving along. EURUSD reacted from a nice zone in here at the highs. Again, same basically zone at the first range in there. At the base, and then eventually can go to the extreme. Did manage to break these ones. Okay, even though kind of reacting straight away from the next level, but we at least start to break some lows, which is what we want to try to see if eventually price does want to turn. We have also this break of a win here, so that's also something to bear in mind. And maybe that's enough. Maybe price could actually turn from here. That's a possibility. Or since price actually already broke this level, maybe takes us into here, and somewhere in here can be a really interesting level to look for a short. Okay, maybe this level somewhere in here can be quite interesting to look for a great short. But for now, I'll still consider to look for more shorts somewhere at around this level. Did manage to break that zone. That's important. Start breaking slightly this level. So yeah. I'll start to see some weakness in here. This was with the CPI data on Canada. Okay, so that was kind of a nice, interesting zone that price reacted from. Breakout. Again, kind of you can see basically the similar pattern that usually try to look for those reversals. Yeah, so we did manage to break now this low. You may respect that level, continue to go lower, or by any chance, if you want to challenge again, maybe the highs, eventually to move forward can be also a possibility. Or we can eventually go all the way to the extreme and then look for that next trade, since price basically just respected the base in here, which may be all the way even higher that price could go and react from to look for another short and taking maybe the liquidity from this level before moving lower. Yeah, EURUSD, again, it's going to be interesting to see what may happen in there. Our franc Swiss is just compressing and let it continue. Okay, so we noticed that price finally it filled that cap. We didn't really look for more moves to the upside. Price kept respecting also the structure. Nothing really changing here, and they are looking for eventually price to go and move upwards. Okay, so I'm looking for price eventually to get here. This is an interesting one. I already broke it, which maybe eventually can take us all the way to the next zone. But for now, yeah, for now. Yeah, that's a nice zone in there. But for now, yeah, this level in here I think can be quite interesting for price to maybe react from, and eventually we can feel all this structure in here again. Okay, so that's basically what you're going to be paying attention to. If there's kind of that weakness and eventually price turns, can the way price is moving down, as you can see, it's super compressed, spikes up and downs. It's just one of those to keep following until price gets to an interesting level, and then you'll see how to act after that. Gold continues to move upwards. I'm expecting gold to eventually take this these highs. Okay, keeps respecting basically this trend line as well. It's something that you can draw like this. If we have so many highs now in alignment with here, but we definitely managed to respect that level. So I'm looking for price to go higher. I'm looking for price to take out these highs and getting a little bit into here, or eventually a little bit into there. So where is actually gold reacting from? Okay. So gold is reacting from here, and eventually can go above this level and go into there. And this is basically the last level also created that this move upwards, which means that maybe that level can be interesting in there, which falls in alignment with this level of supply that we have in there, also on the daily time frame, and as we go into more low time frame in here. Right, it's basically maybe a zone that is still fresh. Price just respecting the base of that level. This one may be still fresh in there. Okay, so yeah, if gold by any chance wants to go higher, may wants to move another 70 pips upwards before maybe finding some level of resistance in there and go lower. Otherwise, everything in here is compressed, it is already taken, and you can start aiming to go a bit more to the upside from here. Okay, so that's something to bear in mind in here on gold. Yeah, maybe we can eventually start aiming to go more towards this level in here, and maybe take all these highs, and yeah, getting maybe close to this structure here. So yeah, overall, yes, I do expect these highs to be taken, and after that we may have a little bit of a good reaction until we see basically this is kind of one of the last ones. So until we see this one being broken to the downside, cautious with any big targets that you're aiming in here. Yeah, so that's what we have. A few interesting zones above it that maybe price can react from. And then we have oil. Okay, so what happened on oil? Okay, so price respected that zone. Kind of this is something that we're looking for. Okay, again, the base has been respected, so now they go to the supply in there. Eventually, I would like to see oil to go slightly higher in there, but since then, price has been just in this range. Okay, so you respected this demand zone. There's maybe even another demand zone in there that price could go to. You know, I'll kind of have this supply or this one in here, which basically where price is reacting from. We have maybe this demand zone, and we are stuck within this range. Okay, so that's basically where we are at this point. Is there any possibility for price to go even deeper in here? 100%. Okay, price can actually eventually go even deeper in here, getting into this level, which takes us into 67. Again, it's been a little bit volatile. It was supposed to be a meeting this weekend with the OPEC members. It was postponed for next weekend, so we'll see. That's basically where they're going to define the quotes for the beginning of 2024. Is there going to be any more production cuts? Yes or no? Like Saudi Arabia and Russia has been doing it since like for the last 6 months or so. Is anyone going to join them? What are they going to decide? We'll see. Like for sure they're not really want to see the price of oil continue to go even much lower, but this is where we are at this point. Okay, so yes, maybe we could continue to move lower, maybe we can go there, maybe we can respect something, maybe go first here and then kind of move lower and eventually maybe turn upwards once again. So yeah, I do like this level, just kind of around 68 and something. In here, this basically where price has already reacted from. Yeah, just bear in mind that level as well. But we'll see. Like somewhere within this structure, it's kind of where maybe price can also go towards to. Yeah, so this is what we have on oil. Yeah, and that's basically it in terms of what you're looking in here. Just let's finish then with with crypto. It's going to be interesting to see, since Bitcoin just broke the highs. Also, this crypto total market broke the highs as well. Okay, so we start ranging in here. You can see which of this is starting to range, creating slightly new highs, reacting from this level in here in particular. What we have in here, okay, so we have price respecting these lows in here. Yeah, maybe forget about this trend line, whatever this trend line is. Yeah, new highs being created, and you're going to see if eventually you're going to finally move forward or not. Okay, so this will respected that one, kind of this one still in there. Bitcoin has already reacted from this level. This one in here hasn't really reacted from it. Okay, so this level is already been taken by BTC. This will react from there. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see what's next in here. Okay, so BTC, this is what we have. Again, as I mentioned, this one that took that demand zone. Again, kept respecting the previous lows in there. Yep, so yeah, that one in there, then kind of that one kind of keep respecting that zone in there as well. And then finally we take these highs, right? So we had kind of a little bit of a double top, triple top, almost four highs in there. So the expectation was to eventually take this level. As I mentioned before, price is indeed reacting from a good level. Okay, so this may be important in here. We actually may have that low in there. That's basically where price is getting really close to. Can be an interesting level, 38,600. Yeah, let's look left. Okay, which is basically also in alignment with this structure. Okay, so that's a little bit of where we are, and then kind of looking maybe for price to go even a bit more in here. This is a zone to pay attention to as well. And then eventually price can go higher, and then eventually take everything in here. Okay, now in terms of the approach, right, which is something that matters, what I would like to see to confirm maybe a bearish move. Okay, maybe this demand zone can be interesting in here. Okay, so basically this level in here, it's the beginning of this move upwards, eventually take this highs, retracement, it keeps respecting the same demand zone. So yeah, if you do kind of maybe break below this level, we start opening doors to eventually go further down. There's a gap in here that price never really reach towards to. Okay, maybe that can be an interesting zone to eventually see price have some kind of reaction, and eventually maybe breaking below this trend line, and eventually breaking even or retesting these lows one more time at the highs. Okay, yeah, so at the highs, what you have, I start having these highs in alignment in here. And that's an interesting zone that we have. And yeah, just looking at this one kind of stands out already. We've already been taken a little bit by there. We have the base of this level. Maybe we have the base of this one here. Okay, extreme. And be interesting as well for price to react from in there. Then kind of this out shoulder kind of maybe taken by that one. Yeah, aside from that, this one's been reacted from, using that tool as a reference. Yeah, so that's maybe a zone where maybe BTC can go. It can fake out these highs in here. Again, I would prefer to definitely see this will be taken. Okay, all this structure in here to be taken, to be honest. Whatever. Let's break that one, so it's just right like this, and then eventually could go higher, could fake out these guys, and then kind of maybe could react from here, and yeah, free to go to downside, and eventually challenge these walls, and eventually challenge that zone in there as well. Again, there's maybe this zone in here which is just a little bit higher than actually this high. Eventually price can indeed go there. So just, yeah, something in there, but yeah, I think there's maybe still something in here that price could eventually use, take that level and move for I'll look for some short opportunities. We took these highs. That's kind of an important level. Again, the move was quite quick, which is again something that is expected. So let's see if that's enough or prices want to create a new high in there. And that's going to be interesting to pay attention to. Ethereum also kind of challenged the highs one more time. It kind of respected that those lows, and that's kind of where we are in here. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what may happen afterwards in here. Ethereum, as we know, it's lagging in comparison with BTC. Okay, BTC is already reacting from here. Ethereum is reacting from nowhere near that place. Okay, if you compare actually where Bitcoin is reacting from, it's in there. Ethereum, yeah, it's not there. Yeah, we'll see if eventually is going to follow up and getting to that level. And Solana kept respecting this low, getting back into here again. Maybe somewhere in here can be interesting to look for a potential trade. Are we going to start ranging a little bit in the crypto before maybe another continuation to the upside, or first maybe retracement down before a continuation to the upside, right? That's kind of a bit of the question mark. That we are ranging now for the last couple of weeks, that's true. Question mark is now what to expect next in here. Yeah, so that's what we have, guys, for this week. Again, attention to the dollar. Are you going to break the lows? And if you do that, is there anything in here that price can kind of resume upwards, or is it going to be just literally a continuation? Right, it's going to something to follow and to pay attention to how price is going to open on Monday. The indices as well. Are you going to have a reversal? Again, the price is slowing down, and NASDAQ is maybe starting to show a bit more weakness, but there's maybe a little bit more room to the upside before the final turn. So that's something to bear in mind. Same with the Dow, can go maybe a little bit higher before the turn. DAX, I'm curious about DAX as well. DAX can be quite an interesting one. Maybe after going slightly higher in here, we may have a good retracement, which then can lead to future continuation to the upside. But let's see, like if you break kind of above our destruction here, we could eventually retrace and then eventually fill the space all the way until the next level. So that's definitely something to bear in mind in here. What else? The yen pairs, definitely that's going to be one to look at, how the yen pairs are going to react in this particular yen index. How is it going to react from this level? I'm super curious to see if there's going to be a long opportunity in here, which kind of maybe takes again euro yen, pound yen, and so on, that which has been putting pound yen quite bullish. Euro yen also retesting those highs to pay attention for a potential sell. Same with dollar yen, which is kind of a bit more in the middle, but again potential to go up and then down to follow this yen index in here. Okay, so yeah, interesting opportunities for next week. Gold also take the highs, then maybe retrace. Oil, what kind of range are you going to be creating at around in that level? And BTC, right? Now that you took the highs, what's next? Are you going to continue to move upwards and that's the momentum, or are you going to retrace all the way back, maybe get closer to this 35 or 34,500, something like that, maybe 35. Okay, so going maybe from 38 to 35, and then you'll see if we are resuming to move upwards or not. Okay, so yeah, that's a bit of what we have in here. It's going to be an interesting week ahead. And that's it, guys. We're almost end of the year. Okay, November is almost done as well, so we are entering into the last month of the year. It's going to be an interesting one. It's been an interesting 2023. And yes, I'm about to create the possibility for us to the infrastructure for us to then work together. Something that I think is going to be interesting. If you do, if you are interested in joining or eventually working together more on a daily basis, we are going to be analyzing constantly with you, finding opportunities and so on. Yeah, please let me know. It's something that I'm working behind the scenes. With that being said, thank you. Have a great weekend. I'll see you next week. Thank you very much, guys. Bye bye.